Let's go, gamers, you know what to do. It's time to go hang out with all of the crew. With your host Kalamity, with Gaming Cutie. You know the show is going to be a doozy. With gaming and streaming news, we're going to bring laughs to all of you. So I hope y'all are ready for a hell of a show. Without further ado, let's go. What's going on, gamer guys and gals? You know what it is. Once again, Walk to Block and come and hang out. Special edition of Kicking It with Kalamity podcast, along with Gaming Cutie.
Yes, hello crew. Look at where we are. Absolutely limited edition. Hopefully you hear the waves. We've got the sun. We are on the beach. As you know, this is a special edition. This is first for the podcast for us to be on location for you guys. Beachside, kind of have fun. Woo. We will be back in studio next week.
Yes.
But in the meantime, we didn't want you to miss out. And so we have created this special edition. There will be news, there will be segments, there will still be things that you guys are used to. And so even though we are on location.
Right. In the radio world, we call this we're on remote. This is remote broadcast.
Yes, so even though we want to see you in chat, we want you to interact, you may find us in chat as well to respond and talk to you guys. So definitely still respond. We have our moderators who have got our back as well, but we want this to be interactive as well, and we will be checking the comments out. So
that's right.
Please come to force, and we are excited to do today.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and announce I appreciate everybody who's here live watching on Twitch every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
But we are also expanding our reach. We're starting to do actual audio podcast. So if you're listening to this via podcast, traditional source, like through your streaming services like Apple, iTunes, all that stuff. We are going out there. We are stretching our reach out there on those streaming, those podcast platforms. So make sure you guys subscribe to whatever your favorite platform is. Your RSS feed is all that stuff is out there. So I'm excited. We're really growing the broadcast, so you guys can listen on the go if you're not able to hang out with us live.
Yay!
Oh. Okay, hold on. We got that.
Yeah. There we go. There it is. Yes. So this is a big milestone. It is part of our Master Big Glam plan. And we are excited. We are already receiving some downloads and some movement. So we are excited for that. And so you as the crew, check it out. Go to your favorite things. Look for Kicking It with Kalamity.
Yeah. Exclamation point podcast in the chat. I already set up the command.
Oh, perfect. And it should take you to your favorite one, whether it's Pandora or Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, you should be able to find us. So we are so excited about that. We are still catching up with the episodes, but this one will be on shortly. So with that being said, let's get into it, right? Okay. There we go. The whole reason we're here, right? Big is getting married, and we are so excited for that. We are so excited to be a part of it, be in the sun, have the sand in our toes, but also more importantly, see this big union. This has been a long time waiting, and we are so excited it is happening.
Oh yeah, I was privileged enough to be at the original engagement. Yeah.
You surprised him.
I didn't even know that was going to be happening. I was surprised visit him, and he surprised me.
Well, it was for a big milestone birthday. We won't throw out that number just because we don't have Big's permission, but It was for a milestone birthday that you were surprising him for.
Right.
And then he surprised us and letting us know that
He was popping the question.
He was popping the question.
Wow.
And so,
all right. Awesome.
Yeah, we are so excited. That was 3 years ago. So this has
Time
been
flies.
a long time coming, and we are excited. It is coming. It is here. It is absolutely here, and we are honored. And I will say, yes, it is your brother, so it's a little personal connection, but we genuinely get excited for all of our crew. So, you know, we have recently learned a member is about to have a baby. There's different things. Cammie announced her 10-year anniversary last week. It's just things like that we want to make sure we want to celebrate with you guys. It is just as important. So make sure you let us know. We're happy to celebrate.
We are the internet family.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. So, I mean, I did pretty good with our location, right? Selecting our location.
Looks nice. Got a good
I still
weather,
have our posters underneath our umbrellas. You know, we've got, you know, the ocean. Oh, yeah, we've got our little fruity drinks, you know, so we've got that we're going for.
Drinky drinks.
Drinky drinks. Gotta have a little fun with that. What's new, crew?
What is new?
So, what is new? This one, we are going to do this segment just a tad different again, because we are on location. But there are still some things that will still be current and apparent. And the first one is, if you are following a Twitch person, are you following an affiliate is what I was trying to say. In the Twitch world, you will probably see underneath their name a special button that says give feedback. And it is an awesome feature for affiliates. It is only affiliates. That have this feature, but that you get 5 categories for them to choose, and you can pick 3 of the 5 just to give feedbacks of things that they are doing well. And then that gives the streamer that feedback where if they need to adjust or learn what their strengths or weaknesses are to hopefully build those communities to reach, you know, for some, the partner goal. So I think this is a great free tool. They've done the emotes that you pick I mean, it's great categories. Which I found interesting, the categories. Go ahead.
I was surprised. I didn't even hear about this. I just stumbled upon it because I was lurking a streamer that I follow, a buddy of mine that is affiliate, and I just happened to be lurking, and I saw that below the video player, and I was like, that's interesting. I ended up clicking it, and then, you know, going to the learn more, and yeah, it's an interesting feature, and it is for affiliates only. So that's a different twist, because usually a lot of times, you know, Twitch, when they come out with some new experimental or beta features, usually goes to the partners first or whatnot, then trickles down to the affiliates. So since the affiliates are getting it first, I'm kind of glad. I'm assuming that maybe they're going to use it to try to help affiliates more, maybe get to that next goal. Get more feedback on, you know, what their streamer or what their viewers are coming to them for, like whether it's for, you know, their commentary, their humor, or relatability. There's all these different categories you can choose from.
5 categories, and the categories are skill, dedication, humor, responsiveness, and reliability. So, or relatability. Sorry, I got sunglasses on. Relatability to their audience and their community. And you can do just 1, but you have 3. You can go up to 3. You can't pick all 5. And I think the reason they did that, which I think is smart, is there's always room for improvement, right? You can't always knock them all out of the park, because if that is the case, there's no room to grow. So I think this is awesome. And by the way, you find it down right next to the follow and subscribe button. So it'll be right there.
It's right below the video player. If you're on PC, I'm not sure. It probably is not visible on mobile, I would guess.
Now, a couple things to know. Once you submit it, that's it. There's no editing it, whatnot, and you get to do it once. So you can't for that channel. So it is a one-time
The other
survey.
thing I noticed too, because actually when I was lurking the stream, I stumbled across this button. I actually did fill out, you know, the feedback thing so I can get an idea for it and help out, you know, the streamer as well. But there was no option. There was no, I don't think you put it in your own
Notes.
words. So I mean, I feel like they could have did better on that, so you can get a little bit more insight, so you can get some more, you know, direct wordage from the viewer. Because you're just choosing these preset parameters, which I guess could help, but I figured they should at least give you a description box as well, so you can manually type in something if you would like to give a little bit more insight to the streamer.
And then what happens, though, with that feedback is that streamer will actually receive an email.
And it's anonymous, too. So for anybody that's looking to fill it out, I believe it's stated on there, too. Yes. Whenever you fill it out, it is anonymous, too. The streamer does not know who the person is that gave the response 100%. Or anything like that.
Yeah, and also just know that the streamer, so if you are looking to use this as a tool, you'll get an email. It's where you're going to find it. You won't see it necessarily. You may see it on your dashboard, but it says you'll get an email. And the email is going to give you the results. And it will say what they love about it. And then the great thing is they'll give you tips so you can learn more of those areas of how to increase it. So I think it's a great free tool that Twitch has done to do better engagement and help you build your community. Overall, I think it's a win.
Yeah, very good. I mean, in Twitch, they do have their creator network tab too, is on the dashboard that you can go to as well, and check out the other type of creator tool that they have available for the different streamers as well. So this is another tool in your tool belt, possibly. I mean, it's a cool feature. Let's see if it actually ends up helping people in the long run. But at least they're trying different things, I guess.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. The next thing, so this was kind of coming out last week when we talked about it. It was happening. We didn't cover it, but I thought we should cover it. We did talk about Xbox last week, how they have increased their Game Pass and what they are looking at and doing streaming. Mm-hmm. Well, PlayStation has come out, but what they are doing is a tier option, okay? And you have different ways to pay. You have 3 different ways to pay. By the way, this was announced a while ago, but they were releasing it in different areas of the world at different time frames. So it hit the US last week on the 13th, is when it hit the United States. And so they have another market that they are going to release as well. We are one of the last. We are not the last one for that. So let me get to that. But there are 3 different levels, and within those 3 levels, you can choose how you want to pay. What's great is, so there's the essential package, there's the extra, and then the premium.
And essential is basically the PlayStation Plus that we all know and love right now. So that doesn't really change. Like the price and everything is pretty much the same. The other 2 options are more higher tiered, and you get, I guess, more options added on to the essential. So.
Well, also notice on the extra, it only applies to PS4 and PS5, where the premium is all PlayStation games and
you get access to that library.
Yeah, exactly. Where the essential, you just actually get discounts. So it definitely has its different features. Back to the dates, so we have it. Asia has already launched. Japan has already launched. North America and South America, like I said, last week on the 13th, so that includes the United States, and Australia, New Zealand, and Europe, you are getting it this week. Actually, it'll be tomorrow or Thursday on the 23rd of June. So it is coming out this week for those areas, so we're kind of in between. The big thing, too, like I said, the key benefits is, again, they are the essential and the extra, by the way, are global. Okay, the deluxe is only in certain markets that available in cloud streaming, which you don't see the deluxe on there because we are in an area that does not matter because we have the cloud streaming, and then the premium is in the markets that do have the cloud streaming. So those are kind of the biggest things. The other thing is, though, is with the value of this, it's interesting how they do that. You look at it and it's $59 a year, which actually was the going rates of the PlayStation Plus right before these tiers. And then they have the $99 and $119 a year. But if you break that down, it's actually very interesting how much money you do save doing the yearly versus the monthly. So for their rates of it, you can see that the monthly on the essential is $120 monthly if you do it for the full year, $100 if you do it quarterly if you choose that package, or $60 for the year. So you really save about half by doing it annually and getting your most value versus the monthly or quarterly. I know, like Kimmy last week had mentioned she's sick of the subscriptions, the monthly subscriptions. Here, there is a value in just paying the annual fee because you actually are saving money. Extra annually is $100. Again, you're saving $80 difference if you paid it from monthly. And then the premium at $120, you are saving, quite a bit there as well. Because it would be $216, so you're saving quite a bit of money there. So,
yeah, I mean, I think it's good that's giving players more options. I mean, thinking about it, I'm not even sure if technically I don't even need PlayStation Plus. I've been using it for so long now just because before it was such a requirement to even play games and play online. But nowadays, like especially for me, the games that I play are free to play, and I don't necessarily need PlayStation Plus, like Apex Legends, Fortnite.
Well, the interesting thing is to see how well PlayStation is going to keep these, because with the new Xbox game thing coming out, remember that was only $15 a month. That's a much lower, that's like the extra package, but they get everything, right? They get over 350 games. They can do multiple devices. They get quite a bit more value for the same price of the extra package on PlayStation Plus. So it will be interesting to see if PlayStation can maintain the value and keep these prices. I would like to see if the prices are still the same, even in 6 months or a year from now. I have a feeling they'll be changing.
You think they'll be changing? What, go up or down?
Down.
Really?
I think they've got to be competitive. I think right now, PlayStation is a top thing, but here's the other thing too. Right now, PlayStation has had, and I've noticed it as we announce and we do trailers, a lot of games are only PlayStation 4. They had the lack of the PlayStation 5's availability still. They are in a very strange spot right now where they don't have access. They aren't having games that are even compatible for the PlayStation 5. And because the argument is, why would we put out a game if people can't even get the PlayStation 5? So you've got all these contracts with PlayStation 4 that are coming out, and you see it in new releases. They say PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 is not an applicable game right now. So it is very interesting. I feel like PlayStation is trying to navigate through these growing pains, and I just don't know if everybody's going to see the value of $120 a month or annually for the premium. Now, if you break it down that way, it is $10 a month. So it depends how you look at that.
I mean, I think people are definitely, there is a certain number of people I think that will definitely pay for it, because look at all the access you're getting. Right. You're basically getting access to the whole PlayStation library.
Yeah, I mean, and PS2, I do PS3, feel like PSP, premium PS4, is PS5. So you don't get what? You don't get PS1 games? No, PS1 game streaming, PS1, PS2, PSP, and PS4 game streaming console and PC. Right.
So you do get PS1. You download classic games.
Yep.
Okay, yes. So, especially with the PS2. And you can
try the game before you buy the game too.
Right.
So that's a big thing too. So you can do a trial of the game before you even buy it, that is a huge advantage for sure. If you're willing to pay the $10 a month, I would say go for the premium and just pay for the annual, because that's where you're going to get the annual price of the premium. That's where you're going to get the most value, because it's the same money. But if you are wanting to save the money, do the 60. It just depends what your pocket was.
Hardcore gamers and retro gamers, or even people who are just collectors, will go for that premium, because people, especially for the PS2, which has the largest video game library of any console.
That's true.
So people are looking to get some games or play some games that they never had the chance to before.
I am going to throw this other perspective out, though. The gamer demographic has changed, too. You've got the younger generations who have never played more than half of those games. Right. So, they've had PlayStation 4 and 5. I will say some people with PS3, but for the most of definitely PS1 and PS2, they were not even born yet. So, we are getting into that generational. I think for our generation, absolutely, it's to go back to memory lane. Retro game playing is becoming a bigger thing in streaming and gaming still, to play some of those classics. So it will be interesting to see what happens, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, either way, you get more options, and, vote with your wallet. It's up to the consumer if they wanted download it or pay for it or not, but at least they're giving you more options.
Yeah. Of course, something that is new out and something that games do is it was announced last week, Tuesday, about the new map that is out for Call of Duty. I believe it's Warzone, isn't it?
Yeah, they're actually doing a new Warzone Resurgence map, which kind of snuck up on me. I kind of fell off on my Call of Duty news. I've been kind of slacking there.
Yeah, it's called Fortune's Keep, and that's what this one is called. What you can expect from it is it is a 12-piece puzzle pieces where individuals reveal throughout the day. It's a handful of Call of Duty content that you'll receive, so you'll get pieces of the puzzle, of the map, and puzzle on top of a cake. While others, have played it. So it's going to be a very interesting thing on this map of what is revealed. It is described as a fast-paced, close quarters map, which sounds like a lot of pacing for Warzone's current Rebirth Island map. It's hard to judge from the photos, but if you match up the grid sizes to the two maps, Fortune Keeps actually looks to be more double than the Rebirth Island. So
it's bigger in size.
It is.
Interesting.
Yep. It also features greener settings than the Rebirth Islands, more industrial feel. It is also quite possible that is meant to match Caldera's Lush Island. But there are points of interest on the location, such as camp, graveyard, Smuggler's Cove, lighthouse, and terraces. They have not confirmed, though, if they are replacing this or if this is a third map option. Yep.
Right. So are they mentioned anything about the player size? Like how many players?
They have not mentioned anything about that. So this is the first teaser. It just kind of came out. It actually came out more on Instagram is where a lot of the feed came from. It didn't even do a lot on Twitter yet, but I think it's coming. Yeah. Yep.
I don't follow much on Instagram, but I do follow Twitter as well. It's good that they're adding a new map. I think they feel like they had to, man, because Warzone has been kind of they've been dragging lately, man. I think they've kind of right now they're losing to, I don't know, I feel Apex. I feel like Apex is the better VR right now, and people are just tired of Warzone. It just does not feel the same like it used to. They're just trying to. Hopefully, Warzone 2 is going to really shake things up. We have our Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 coming out later this year. Really looking forward to that because even me, I haven't been playing Call of Duty in a long time. I used to be a big fan of the franchise. So hopefully, the new map is going to bring some good new renovations to Call of Duty.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I fixed it, but it did not save. So, anyways, I don't even know if I can bring it back.
You can't. I tried to view it before this.
Okay, well, there it goes. If you saw it again. Anyways, the big thing is Juneteenth. Was technically on Sunday. It was observed yesterday, Monday, and this is a big new deal. It has been around for a very long time, but it was last year that it became a federal holiday. So here in the U.S., and so there is a lot of talk about that as well. There are certain companies that have chosen to observe it and some that are not. Some people are still having a hard time with it. Some have been trying to choose to celebrate it more like it's a 4th of July, but a lot of people I've heard feedback that actually it should be celebrated more as a Memorial Day. It is a very interesting holiday. It is a monumental holiday. I didn't say that right. But it is a big milestone holiday. It's an important one for history, if I should say that. So,
and for the folks that probably aren't aware, especially if you're not here in the U.S., basically where the slaves got emancipation, and the freedom to actually be their own people,
Yeah. Celebrate. So, absolutely. There we go. Sorry. So there are companies that are choosing to celebrate it, and what that looks like, some of them are giving holiday pay. Some of them are actually shutting all their doors and celebrating not only on their corporate levels, but even retail, which I think is a huge thing. So Nike, Lyft, you're driving Lyft, Target, General Motors, Starbucks, Postmates, Instacart, Apple, JD Morgan, Allstate, Adobe, Capital One, Zinovitz, and Zelda, or Tesla. I don't know where I said Zelda, but my brain did that. But anyways, there are, like I said, there's 48 more. There's a lot of them that are doing the paid holidays. So if they're working, they're getting paid. So this is a big deal. However, I will say, since it is such of a new thing, and like you said, it's not necessarily even fully understood why. They just think it is a cultural holiday, why it should be a federal holiday. I think a lot of people are just trying to figure out how to celebrate. I'm going to say that with quotations, because it's really, like I said, it's really more of a memory of thing, because there was a lot of people who passed away, in that did not have the rights. So it's kind of a very...
I feel like there's no way you can get around. I mean, it's part of American history. It is what it is. I mean, I don't see... And then as far as celebrating it, it just depends on, Well,
and we're going to talk about this a little bit later in Hot Topics, but it is one of the things, too, that there has been a lack of education in the U.S. about this topic. And then that's a big controversy, too, of what's being taught in schools and the real history and things like that, too. So I feel like a holiday like this is definitely opening up, but we are definitely going to dive into this more during our Hot Topic segment. So stay tuned for that. But happy Juneteenth.
Yes, sir. Yes. Happy Juneteenth, everyone.
And with the history, I thought one thing that we do, since this is a limited edition, we don't usually do this, but let's talk about history of video games. And I'm specifically going to do of this week. So things that happened this week, specifically June 20th through Sunday. So it is things that have actually happened in history. I'm going to cheat and get to my notes. Here we go. So starting with on June 20th, there was two things that happened, but one we are definitely going to talk about is that with E3 putting the future of video games on display, it was no time for lessons of history. That gives us the catch up. So here we go. In 1997, on June 20th, 1997, Square releases Final Fantasy Tactics in Japan. It would see a translation for its release in North America, but trust me, it's easier to learn Japan than understand the localization of the game. So this was the first kind of big translate, and it was released at E3, but it changed quite a bit with this. It was a very big milestone for gaming in that point.
Interesting. Yeah, Final Fantasy, I think that's like a tactical, strategic RPG. I never played that one. I'm pretty sure Devil Dog probably did that. I think that's more of a strategy RPG or something. Interesting. I think I remember when that first came out.
Yeah.
Old school.
It is. We're going farther back than that. In June 21st of 1989, Nintendo wins the Tetris War when Tengen, did I say it right? Tengen, did I say it right?
I think Tengen, so. I don't know if it's Tengen or Tengen.
Is ordered to recall and destroy 250,000 Tetris cartridges. I'm not sure what's more rare, the cartridge for the Tengens or the NES version. So
I would expect Tengen, probably more rare and expensive. Yeah,
so I did a value on both of these as of today. This article that was wrote was probably about 10 years old, but the information is still valid. So if you were to today to find one of each of those, what do you think the values would be?
$10K.
For which one? Like for the Tengen?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 10K for Tengen and 8K for Nintendo.
let's not have you go to a pawn shop. This one, so for Tetris, it still runs about, it is so been inundated in the industry that it's only going to be about $15-20. The Tenon Tetris, right now, it averages anywhere, depending on the condition, it is anywhere from $150 to $250.
Really?
Yep.
I just saw something on Twitter the other day, though. Somebody was looking at something in the game shop. What game was it? I forget what game it was. It might have been in N64. It was like $10K or something. They wanted for this one cartridge. It probably is
the different rarity, but even with 250,000 destroyed, obviously they're still out there. So that tells you how many. I mean, it just gives the rarity for sure. I would be curious to know how many Tetris cartridges were made. I didn't research it in that much, research it down that much, but yeah, who knew, right?
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm gonna check your mom's closet, see if she still got it.
Yes.
Go to some what's it called? Some flea? Was it a house? Garage sales.
Garage sales. Yeah.
Yard sale.
Yard sale. Garage sales. Yep. Okay. June 22nd, which is going to be the anniversary of Big Day, which is tomorrow, which we are very excited about. Yeah. But back in 1965, this man was born. It is his birthday. This is Bull. Is that how you say it?
I don't know. You or Yui?
Bull.
Maybe yeah. Yui.
Anyways, he is the director of terrible video game fields adaptations, and hopefully someday somebody will make a terrible film of him. And I did some research. His videos and movies have gotten horrible ratings. He still makes them, and I didn't even recognize any of the names of them. But he believes, and this is why I posted this picture, his quote is, "So if you want to have a great video game-based movie, you have to keep the mood of the game, use the normal character setup, but you have to flesh out the story and provide more background for the characters." So, he appears as an expert, but there are some people, all of his movies have had horrible ratings. So, so he has definitely changed the way of video game movies.
He's a director?
Yeah.
And he directed, what movies did he do? He did video game movies?
Yeah.
You're saying? Oh. And they all did bad?
Yes.
Which ones? I guess he did Mario Brothers?
Was that one of them? I don't know.
I mean, I feel like that was definitely a flop. I mean, that was
he's a German like filmmaker.
Game.
Here's his movies.
Rampage did not see. Postal did not see or play. Blood Rain. I don't think I saw Blood Rain. I had Blood Rain.
I'm going to the older ones because I think that's what this one had really talked about. He's done a lot, but Part of America, Zombie Mascadar. I mean, you can tell by even some of the graphics of this. I think he played in his own. There. Rampage.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Anyways, he's had enough of them. House Evil was really not that good. So anyways, he's had quite a few movies that he's done. And he is 56 years old. Would be 57 today. So.
Well, happy birthday. You and your bad movie.
Yeah, exactly. This one. Sorry, I have to get back to my cheat notes. This was the big deal of this on June 23rd. Is in 1996, Nintendo releases Nintendo 64 in Japan. For millions of fanboys, and very ugly 3D era had begun. The rest of the world welcomed as they caught up. So this was actually not received very well in Japan, the 3D world, and but this was a big introduction to that. So Nintendo released it.
Nice. Yeah, I was talking about the N64 earlier. I thought the N64 was a good console. I thought it was like the very first home console where you could do a lot of couch co-op.
Yeah.
Because as you see right there, you've got the 4 ports built in already. Before that, you would have to buy a multi-port separate to have more than one other person at your house playing a game. You would have to actually buy like an aftermarket multi-port out N64 said, no, we're going to put it right on the console. And a lot of their games were tailored to that. It was a lot of games that were 4-player couch co-op, which was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, back at the time, though, culturally in Japan, the 3D games and that gameplay was not received well. They really had to earn its spot.
I don't understand why, though. It was so brand new, too. It was like the next stage in gaming. They went from like 18-bit to 64-bit and 3D. You know, I never had one, but Devil Dog did. My buddy did. We always, had fun playing on N64.
Yep.
Interesting controller.
Right. Yeah.
Classic.
Absolutely. So, June 24th in 2002, Nintendo released the Silicon Knights developed Internal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, making the very first mature rated game. That is why this is such a big deal. It was released by Big N. So it had a few run-ins with gamers. This game still held high regard to those who played it. Not sure why we think Dennis won't message more butts when it's released. But yeah, anyways, I don't know what that part was. But the big deal with this one, it was the very first mature rated game. So, 2002.
Silicon Knights was the game, or that's the developer? You said the game was...
Internal Darkness.
Internal or Eternal?
Eternal. Darkness. Sanity's Requiem.
Huh.
Yep. So that was the big deal on that. And then finally, on June 25th, their Marvelous Entertainment began as a company in Japan. Most gamers know it now as a company of Harvest Moon games.
That's what I was about to say. It looked like Harvest Moon.
Yep. And if you play them, you can agree the marvelous is an overstatement. This person's opinion is joking. She says it's just game. It's just boring. It's farming. For me, who is a mobile game player, the farming games and things are the most relaxing. You just zone in and repetitive, and it zones out. So, which I did learn, believe it or not, the biggest gamers in the mobile gaming industry are females. So, which makes sense.
Huh. Because Candy Crush?
No, it's not just Candy Crush. I mean...
well, Candy Crush started it, right? Wasn't that the first big mobile game that really blew up?
It probably was. We'd have to look at it, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Now everybody's spread out into... a lot of people
into it.
Stardew's mobile and...
I'm on my mobile gaming more than I am on my PC or PlayStation 4. So it's just handy. It's right there, So even though it's a tinier screen, but...
Yeah. Me, I don't do much mobile gaming. I had Call of Duty Mobile for a little while, and it was fun. It was nice. It was actually really cool for a mobile game, but I don't know. I guess because I have a console and I have a PC, I have enough stuff to to play on.
Yeah, so that's history in gaming this week.
All right, interesting. A lot of history was made this year.
Yes, this week. And there actually was more that happened. I just kind of picked the highlights of it. Got
to consolidate.
Speaking of history, it is time for Twitch Rewind. So this is the segment where we pick clips that you guys have created. And we do want you to vote. My moderators are going to help us out with creating a poll at the end of these 4 clips that we have. So thank you to our moderators for helping us while we are on location. And so we are going to go forward with the first. Anything you want to say before this one?
No, this was a good clip. It was a double KO, but I did not get the KO. I was the witness to a double KO. It was just a funny interaction.
It's just a good clip. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I did some work, but it wasn't my double.
Okay. Oh, fun. Let's go.
So they try to throw a player ball, get him out. He really played you. Yo! oh, that was awesome. Oh, God. Yo, clip that. Oh, damn. Yeah, so it was a little help from my teammate there. Appreciate the backup, but yeah, they ended up headbutting each other the enemy team and then fell off the map. Good times.
Yeah,
My favorite map too.
I think KO is really getting underneath your skin. You truly enjoy that game, and I think it's a game, honestly, that you have to play to really appreciate. It's hard to watch.
Why is it hard to watch?
Because it's so quick, and it's
Really?
hard to process what is actually happening.
Somebody said
versus
that.
while you're in the game and you kind of know it feels very different.
Yeah, I get a lot of sweat matches, but yeah, it's a fun game. I enjoy it. It's now free to play and it's cross play, so hopefully you guys check it out. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do.
Okay, here's our next clip, a Fortnite clip. Harley goes splat.
32. Over 29. Hit him again.
I don't even see where he went. Sending to the moon?
yeah. Every time I hit her, it was flying up. She was flying up in the air. It's Harley. Harley Quinn. I'm sorry, Harley. I don't want that pump though. No.
Okay, what's cool about this? What's cool about this, I want to say, I mean, you can give your feedback, but there is a new trend with you playing Fortnite that you love your vehicles and you like to use them as weapons.
I mean, I guess it's a new trend. I mean,
for you,
I like vehicles. I mean, even, yeah, I mean, I like vehicles in general. Like even Warzone, how many like helicopter clips have we seen?
Of you not flying and crashing?
Huh?
That there's that famous one where you're like, how do I fly this? And then you're like, oh, I got this, we got it. And you actually do it as a pilot, like you're on, and then shortly you crash. We'll have to pull that clip.
I know I've chopped some people up with helicopters. I always like doing vehicle kills. It's always I don't know, they're good content. They're funny. And the vehicles in Fortnite are just as good as long as you put some chonkers in the cow catcher on. You get that damage when you hit them. They fly up in the air, and then they get the fall damage when they land. So, but
it is not just vehicles that you like to use while you are shooting and doing drive-bys. Nope, that's not just it. You also will use animals. Yeah. So we are about to look at this.
Equal opportunity.
Drive-by on a boar, even though you're on a wolf.
And a wolf, yeah, I'm on a wolf, not a boar.
But still.
Let's get this back to back.
Still get more,
represent the wildlife.
Anywhere. Oh, we got a guy right here.
Might be a vending machine. See, he's looking back like he's.
Erase. I just.
What?
Did I take something?
Boy, getting it.
No.
Look at the speed you get with him.
All this stuff
and you can still shoot while on the move. It's so good.
See ya.
Riding wolfback.
I love Spence's responses to your.
That's how we do around here, man.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
That was a wolf by. I want to do drive by.
wolf by.
Yes. So absolutely, that is your clip on that. I think. Thoughts on that? You want to rate yourself or anything? You did good.
That was good. I give that. Yeah, I give that an 8 or a 9. It's good. Good approach. Good shots. Yeah.
But don't worry. If you think, okay, what else could Cal use? He uses cars, vehicles, boars. No. He will also use the enemy's cars. So yes, let's look at this. Let's see how he pulls this trick
this one was
up.
classic.
Let's just go ahead and see how he actually uses the enemy's vehicles.
This is why you gotta be here live. Experience it live. If you missed out on it, here's the recap.
Okay.
Oh shit! I didn't realize I couldn't storm with it. Yeah. Oh, guy just hopped in the car behind. Oh. I hopped in his car.
See, he actually stopped for me. They actually waited for me.
Right, I'm in the enemy's car. Yeah, I see you on the.
I was seeing if I could shoot the banana through the roof.
Like, appreciate the ride, guys. I'm sorry.
And his teammates started shooting.
I'm sorry.
Like, all right, get hopped out.
It wasn't you.
I know y'all are nice enough to give me a ride. I'm being really rude. I started
Take his car.
Okay.
And now you big Dennis up.
I'm so sorry. They were nice enough to pick me up. I started shooting. I'm sorry.
Get out there. Thanks for the whip, boys.
Yo.
Thanks for the whips, boys. Absolutely.
That was classic. They were nice enough to pick me up. He stopped, let me get in, And I started shooting. I saw the little banana peel sticking through the top of the roof. Like, maybe I can hit that. And then teammates started shooting at me. I was like, well, they hopped out. I hopped in the driver's seat. I'm out.
Well, and the other point, I don't know if you caught in that video, is you were in the storm.
Yeah.
So you were in the storm, and like you said, he was as well, and he let you stop to get in. I don't know if he thought maybe you were the other teammate, and
No, his teammate was in the passenger seat.
I know, but it may have been. Were you playing duos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, I think it's quite funny. There was communication of some sort. They let you in for sure.
There's some nice folks out there, man, and I was a little bit rude. I started shooting first. I mean, I wasn't sure how long the route was going to last, so
Right.
I was like, let me just
take care of you first. Yeah, absolutely. Now, at this point, again, we just saw 4 clips, 1 knockout where it's a double knockout, and 3 Fortnite. Okay, so we have Cal with Harley Quinn splat. We have you doing the wolf, even though it says the boar, but the wolf drive by. And then lastly, taking the car of the enemies and saying, thanks for the whip, boys. So right now, you should see my moderators are on top of it. They're creating a poll. So go ahead, please vote for one of those 4s. And I'm curious. So what do you think is going to be the top clip out of that while they're voting?
I think thanks for the whip. I think that's just too rare of a situation.
It's a good clip.
Yeah. I mean, you can't make that stuff up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is going to be a far high win. Of course, we will hopefully be in chat to find out what you guys are voting. But yes, it is very cool. And I want to say to everybody else, thank you for the clips.
Yes,
you guys keep up these clips, and I'm telling you, GC is going to have to bring back the top clips of the week. We're going to have to do awards and things of doing the top 10. So please keep those clips coming in. They are very helpful, and they are just fun to watch.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
I really do appreciate the clips. It helps me spread the content to other platforms and share them out on the interwebs, and it saves me from having to try to hit my clip button while I'm still live and still in the moment, or having to go back and watch the VOD. So if you're here in the chat live and you're able to snip those epic or fail moments, I do appreciate it.
And that means even of us as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Hopefully the voting session is out, and we will get the feedback from home base of what the win was. But I agree with you. I think that by far, thanks for the whip, boys, is going to take the trophy this week.
Yeah. Good clip.
Okay. Hot topics.
Hot.
Here we are. We are talking about it. So we had mentioned earlier about Juneteenth, right? And there is interesting thing with holidays in general, like let's say Valentine's Day, right? There are some people who are just over Valentine's Day because it becomes so commercialized. It becomes such of a Easter. With Easter, some people are like, how is the bunny what to do with price rising? Just there's a lot of different controversies when it comes to marketing and how do you celebrate. Some of them are just, hey, this is an opportunity to have fun. Well, this year, like I said, it is new to the United States that this is a federal holiday. Again, it was from 1865 that this has been a holiday, but it has not been nationally recognized.
Right.
So this is a big milestone in that fact for it to be a milestone. But I have found it interesting that there is promotions of how to celebrate. Oh, okay. Well, it's okay. It was just a bingo card. So it was Juneteenth bingo is what was not appearing. But these are 2 other games: Black Card Revoked and Culture Tags, which Culture Tags focuses on Black Twitter, along with family and movie games and things like that.
Specifically Black Twitter, says?
Yes. So my question is to you. Do you think
being a black man, for folks that may not be, if you're not watching, if you're listening via podcast,
and I am not, so do you think that this is more mockery to focus on these specific things, or do you think this is a celebrating the culture and putting a memorial to Juneteenth?
Well, these right here, they don't say anything specifically for Juneteenth. So
no, they are just advertised how to celebrate. So I have found there's websites. There's actually, we didn't get to see it earlier because it flew by. Right now, there's T-shirts that are out that says, "I paused this game to celebrate Juneteenth." There's bingo cards that are Juneteenth.
Excuse me. These aren't even Juneteenth. I feel like these are just things that they might have created and they're just going to throw out during Juneteenth because, hey, it's about black folks and black culture, so it's got to be relevant, right? I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it depends on the intent. I mean, and you have to look closer, deeply into what these games are about and how they're marketed.
Well, let's play another thing. So, for example, Walmart has been in controversy this year because the first year they decided to honor it by putting like cool information on clothes and do different things of focusing, black creators and things like that in comments. And for what I've been told, again, this is things I've read, I cannot speak of, but that the black community really kind of embraced it. And then this year they were focusing on food that had black culture names, like ice cream and different things, and they're like, what? It's like they were playing into the chicken and watermelon stereotypes and things like that, and the community was like, no. And so I feel like this is a very, especially with everything going on just in general, I do think that this is an interesting, I don't know, what do you think?
It's a difficult line to walk as far as trying to do something that's actually informing people or something that's just like a cash grab or some type of parody. I don't know. It's definitely going to depend on a case by case basis. I'm all for trying to increase people's awareness as long as it's done in the right way. I mean, I feel like a lot of people probably don't know what Juneteenth is and don't know what it's actually about and how to celebrate it or recognize it. And to try to cash cow on, I don't know, it's a different thing to cash or to celebrate and recognize it and then separate to try to cash cow it. I don't know. And like your comparisons you were making to like, say, Valentine's Day and other holidays like that, those are, at the end of the day, they're fictional. They're not even real. True. This is history. This is stuff that's actually happened. This is
very valid point.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But usually was not talked about. This holiday has existed since 1865. So it's a big thing in that aspect of it.
Well, I don't think it wasn't a holiday then. I think it was when it first happened, but it wasn't actually recognized until later on, right? I think 1865 is when the emancipation and all that happened. But it didn't actually start to get recognized and traction until way later. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It's definitely a tight rope to walk. There's so much going on right now with knowledge that's being spread, especially in schools, with like critical race theory and all this other stuff.
Well, that's what I was saying too. Is that they're not being taught this. Like, I was not necessarily in my generation, and that was a while ago, taught things like this. The lack of information has not been taught, and there's a lot of controversy right now of what's in our history books.
Oh yeah, and because they choose what you're going to learn.
Right, and that's what I was going to say too. We've learned, with social media has become such a huge force of not only education but influence, and I feel like even learning, they teach classes like in Germany and other places on all what America chooses to teach and how watered down or what they choose to teach even of history and how it's not even real. It's not even the real history in our history books. And, so that is a version. That is a big thing for sure. Yeah,
that was definitely one of the things I learned, especially growing up, that they teach you what they want you to know. They don't teach you all the behind the scenes and stuff that actually happened, especially like now with the recent, within the last few years or so, now that people are starting to finally take a different look at Columbus Day and Christopher Columbus, because growing up, oh, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, doop-a-doop-a-doo, but no, Christopher Columbus was a bit of an asshole.
Right. And he wasn't there. Or even Thanksgiving. Like, that is a thing, too, that it is now starting to come up, and I am proud of, like, the Native Americans. I just want to say this, that I am proud that voices are being heard. And what I mean by that is Native American, the Black culture, the Asian cultures, the different ones. And don't get me wrong, they need to be heard more. They need to have a bigger voice. They need to be not, stifled, not softened, not cleaned up, not like, they need to be able to be heard, and there needs to be an understanding. And I feel like it's the only way that people are going to be able to learn. And I think, I have been blessed to have people in my life where I can ask questions that may come across offensively, but it's me just trying to learn. I try to be careful with how I word things, but I've had to learn how to look at things or say and catch things that I was taught, not even knowing intentionally that I was putting more to the cause against people that are in my life and I love very dearly. So, there was an example online of a dad with his kids, and he tells the story that it was his daughter who, him and his daughter were both white, and she was playing with kids, and he was like, yeah, there was like three white kids, there was a Black little girl, there was an Asian girl, and she came over and said, hey, can I play with Lily, let's say her name was, and he was like, well, who's Lily? And she said, the one with the pink bow. She didn't say the little Black girl. She said the little pink bow. But that is something of a new generation, and we've always said that, right? That racism is taught. It is not something you were born with.
We are all
taught,
programmed from birth. I mean, when you're growing up, you're being programmed. Obviously, I mean, it from what it comes down from, obviously, your first your interactions and stuff is going to be whatever your parents do. And then from there, you go from what you see on TV and social media and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different influences to a person. But yeah, when the kid's young, they don't know any better. Everybody's everybody. They just want to play, and that's kid. No, you learn, oh, that's a Black kid, that's a white kid. No, it's all learned stuff that you're taught as you grow up, and it just becomes ingrained in your brain and programmed. You have to reprogram your brain to not fit into these stereotypical societal norms that people have, you've been subjected to growing up.
And understanding the effect, I think, is the other thing. I think the lack of understanding that you can affect and what is different. I will say, I believe that the younger generation is definitely more open. And I think, I am hopeful of that. Do I think I hope and pray there will be a day where racism is the very minute thing and becomes, a point where if somebody chooses that will get stopped and quieted and just taken care of in that moment and not have a voice. I think we are a long way away from that yet, but I think it takes people. I have learned in the last even 5 years, even less than that, how much of a white privilege and what that looks like I have of being white and what that looks like. And, it is interesting to me where I've now looked for opportunities. If I see something that is not okay, in my perspective, it is my responsibility to say something. It is my responsibility to do something, even if it's educating, even if it's, hey, that's not okay. There is a viral TikTok or even video going on right now of an Uber driver. Have you seen this?
I think so, where he refused his service to
so there was two people who got in the thing, and he was a white gentleman. So just to paint the picture again, for anybody who's listening, he was a white gentleman, and it was two people getting in, and she first said, oh, hey, you're a normal guy. You're a white guy. You speak English. And right away.
First words getting in.
Yes. And right away, he said, nah, that's okay. You can get out. And she's like, what? He goes, no, you're a racist. I don't want to, and refuse the ride. And he's like, oh, come on. And he's like, no.
And he has the right to.
And he does. And he did have the right. And then the guy got really mad, started swearing at him, and we're going to call the police. He said, go ahead. He's like, I don't care.
We're going to call the police. He's not going to give us a ride.
Right, because we were being racist. Like, and that's what I'm talking about. The people who do have it and believe that it is not right, it is our responsibility. To educate, but also take those stances.
Yeah. It's everyone's responsibility. I mean, one of my favorite quotes is "Be the change you want to see in the world." That's from Mahatma Gandhi. And luckily, I was raised by parents that taught me that everybody is a person. You don't judge a book by a cover, because you never know. Same. Yeah, you never know somebody's background and what they're going through or whatnot. Give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove you wrong.
I will say, for me, I have been more enriched as a person, and I have grown more as a person by learning about the other cultures and being embraced and the beauty of all the cultures that I have learned. And I feel like it is a sad thing when you keep yourself in one little box. So
yeah, some people are comfortable there.
So we'll have to see how Juneteenth, I just think it may be an opportunity to maybe grow more awareness. I don't know. We'll have to see. Speaking of influences power, as I was talking about, is social media. And right now there are some hot topics going on with some big names. And I want to talk about what they're talking about, but also, is this going to change the future of the power that social media really has? And is there a way to tame it? So right now, Ninja, and Mr. Beast,
Tyler Blevins, aka Ninja,
they right now are going at it. And just to be fair, it was Mr. Beast who started it. So there is a clip of Ninja finding out the smack that Mr. Beast put on. Mr. Beast put not only a video but a comment on Twitter. And he was talking, and Mr. Beast was talking about that he may or may not be hosting a League of Legends tournament, and then immediately put it in there, also, Ninja sucks.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So
that's kind
this
of
is
left
how.
field.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ninja finds this,
Does Ninja play League?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay. That's
and in fact, that's the part of it that Ninja came back and said it wouldn't even, if they had a match together on 1-on-1, like if it was 1v1 between Mr. Beast and Ninja, he wouldn't even come close. Ninja would just him, yes. And so it has become quite he said, I would literally dominate you in a League of Legends match and it wouldn't even be close, is the exact quote coming from Ninja.
Ooh,
he also, that's exactly it, shots have been fired. Tyler saying that Mr. Beast is talking shit about some leak, bro. That was actually one of his comments, and he pulled. So it has been a big talk back and forth. It is creating some controversy, but let's talk about that. I'm going to get to the next one. I've got one more, but real quick here. Number one, do you think this is real? Because let's be real. Is this something that League of Legends has put on to put more focus to the game? We talked last week about Nick Merck and Tin the Tap Man, this big thing that's coming up. Everybody, we don't know if it's real fighting or if it's video fighting, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Do you think this is just smack talking, or do you think this is, they are both getting paid on the back end by League of Legends to bring more focus to the game?
I don't know. Honestly, it could go either way, I feel. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird that he would just throw that out there on Twitter, out of the blue, seems like, unless there's some type of backstory that I just don't know about. Like, what?
Yeah, he even said, Ninja said in response, like, you can watch the clip. There's a clip on Twitter. It's all over. I don't know if he's hosting. This is from Tyler, Mr. Ninja. I don't know if he's hosting the tournament or if he's a part of it. Either way, I would absolutely dominate Mr. Beast in a 1v1 situation, or even a 5v5 situation, it wouldn't even be close. So he is really calling him out on his skill level.
I mean, I don't know. It could be a marketing thing, could not. I mean, they're both big names. Not necessarily they need more marketing because everybody, well, not everybody, but if you're in a streaming stratosphere, if you're in the streamer realm, whatnot, you know who they are. Is there one you want a League of Legends? I don't know. Are they having like is there a meetup coming up? They have like a date set or anything? You just called them out.
Just called him out. Straight up called him out. In fact, Mr. Beast still to this day has not released any more details about this tournament he is supposedly creating. So that is, it is just a pure thing. So let's talk about the other one though. Okay, so maybe this will help weigh you. Is
okay, Doctor, is it Fatal 3-Way?
Yeah. So Dr. Disrespect actually is calling out on Call of Duty dev team. Okay, and there's a big falling out. So yesterday, this has all happened within 24 hours of last week. Okay, so last Tuesday, Mr. Disrespect, he actually calls out on Call of Duty saying that, hey, you're not impressed. You really have lost it, kind of the effect of it, and feels like he was getting the cold shoulder from the game. Like, it's just been this controversy.
Isn't he a Call of Duty partner or no?
I believe he was.
Oh, was.
And so Call of Duty Tim has called out. He recalls following the out with it after the Twitch ban. Okay, so he has been shadow banned by multiple past sponsors. So it has been a big thing after his notorious Twitch ban, if you remember.
Which nobody still knows why he got banned to this day. It's like
now
one
a
of the
non-delete
great mysteries of the world. Why was Doc banned?
It is in a now deleted clip reposted by Full Game Squatting. So they have lashed out, like it says, live streaming sensation lashed out at Call of Duty dev team for seeming cutting him out and giving him the cold shoulder after his notorious Twitch ban, and now deleting the clip. In the recent months, he has said they just have not. So my point to this is,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of can see his point. So he feels like he's being blackballed by Call of Duty.
A little bit.
And I can see that because you figure like all these trailers they've been releasing, like Tim the Tab-In, who's on YouTube now, just like Doc. Tim is in the trailers we saw like the commercial for Call of Duty. I haven't seen any Doc teasers or trailers yet, and pretty sure he used to play a lot of Call of Duty. I mean, he's known for playing shooters. He's got his own company, Midnight. Well, and
he's also saying, like he said, design half the maps from Advanced Warfare. Like we've done this with the franchise, right? For them turning the cold shoulder, and trust me, he took it personally. So there's a lot of things going, but he was also talking last week that he just found like the franchise too has lost their touch. It has gotten boring. They are not putting the same efforts into past games. But this is my question, okay? So just to put on perspective for anybody who may not know these followings of these communities, right? So Dr. Disrespect is around 230,000 viewers and followers impact of online. That's a lot, okay? And to have the pull of this is huge. They are worth millions, okay? All of them here. You are looking at millionaires that we're talking about. Yep. So the question is, how much power do you think they have with making a game happen versus destroying it? And which I already know the answer, but do you think this is going to start regulations? Do you think recently we just had a very public case of defaming, right? And being able to affect sales in the negative on companies based off of things that were happening with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, if you didn't know what I was talking about. Do you think that social media influencers are going to start to be regulated based off if they say something in the negative tense to prevent proper sales or to tank sales? Do you think they have that power?
They could have sway. I mean, a lot of time if they're signing contracts anyway, like if they're I'm sure if you're a Call of Duty partner or any type of partner, I mean, like, full disclosure, like, I've been, partners for different games and developers, and a lot of times they have those, what they want to call morality clause or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're bad mouthing, they could definitely revoke your access to the program if that's what happened there. Like, as far as Doc, if he used to be a COD partner, he's not anymore. But COD, I mean, Doc, he's no stranger to controversy, and he's definitely not a person that holds his tongue. Like, he bad mouths pretty much every game he plays. Whether it actually has an impact on sales or whatnot, it depends. I mean, obviously he has influence. They've got a big following, all these creators.
Yeah, so, and believe it or not, there is a video out on Twitter saying this is why he actually got banned by Twitch, is what's now coming out. And, it's interesting. I have not watched the video, but it is interesting to see, the power and how people try to regulate this. I don't know. I feel like this is going to come to a point where there's going to be regulations, but at the same time,
by regulating what you can say or do.
You get paid from sponsors to say certain things about stuff, right? Why can't there be the reverse effect? If you say something negatively about a company and they lose sales and it becomes a defaming of something, if you get big enough, I mean, I don't know. It works. I mean, let's look at this. Ninja was streaming for a very long time. People think that it was an overnight sensation. He was not. But him playing with Drake is definitely what changed his life, right? One night, it made Twitch history. 5,000 or 50,000, $50,000 in one night. Like, it just changed his whole life from that point forward. And so it's interesting to see. I don't know. I think with social media and the power of influencers and how it is changing how people buy and the marketing, and it's going to be interesting to see if this becomes like a dog eat dog kind of a thing.
Yeah, but there's no way they can regulate it, though, unless they sign a contract. I mean, it's free speech. They can say whatever they want to say unless they're actually signed with the developer.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Those contracts may be something where it is very much, and then the question is, can they argue free of speech? Do you know what I mean? Can they argue it if they are in a contract? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think it's going to get dicey. I think it's going to, like I said, right now, how consumers buy, and companies are not using traditional ways of ads. They just aren't. They are choosing to pay influencers because you get more direct sales and get a better ROI. And that is due to social media. Even 5 years ago, it was not to what it is nowadays. Everything is more digital. Everything is more ads. If you ask yourself how many times you've clicked on something on Instagram or Facebook or even TikTok and even bought it, I'm telling you there is greater profit that is happening because of that. It's becoming more automated. And so the power is definitely going to the consumers. We have even seen that in politics. We have seen that happening. So I don't know. I think it is a new thing that people have to learn how to ride the waves, per se, of social media.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, at the end of the day, influence is power, and so I'm curious to see. I mean, as much smack as Doc talks about the different developers and the different games he plays and how they're doing things wrong, since he's got his own studio now, and whenever they're releasing their game, I'm really curious to see how good his game is going to be when it finally comes out. Right. All this stuff he's talked, like his game better be game of the year, because he knows what's hot and what's not. Like, since he knows these developers aren't doing anything. I even seen clips that say it's like what? How much billion-dollar industry?
Yeah.
And there's like nothing to play right now because all the games are garbage.
Right.
So we'll see what he can bring when he brings his first game out.
And let's see how good is his servers and the execution, and
Now don't get it wrong. Nothing against Doc. I have no qualms with the man. I'm just speaking facts and just giving my opinion. I have nothing against Doc or Tyler
or any of them. Exactly. They are just hot topics right now, and I wanted to. The big hot topic was the power, of influence and
influence is power. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But we have arrived to one of our now becoming our fan favorite episode part or segment, I should say, not episode. We're in the episode, but vote dub or snub.
Dub or snub.
Chat
right.
again. Hopefully you are interacting with this as well. So please, again, you have your global
Twitch global emotes. Vote yay or vote nay.
And we will be looking at those as well as we go through. So these, we are looking, if you have learned my little secret trick, behind us are the videos we will be reviewing. They do come out this week, and so we will be talking about each of them. So let's get to it.
Let's do it. This one is Shadowrun Trilogy.
Yes. This comes out on June 21st. On all platforms, except for PC. It does not make it to PC.
Yeah, looks like PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X or S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Story-driven RPG-S. So like a strategy RPG. Turn-based combat. Okay, not my style. Shadowrun Trilogy. I think that is an older game. I feel like that's a classic there. I feel like I've heard that game before, but I've never played it. I don't know where it first released, what console. I think that's an oldie. Looks interesting, not my style. So I am going to snub it. Just me personally. That's just my personal preference. It looks. I'm not an RPG person usually, and especially not I think that was a strategic RPG with turn-based combat. I've done turn-based combat RPGs in the past. I don't mind them sometimes. It's not my. I don't know.
To me, the graphics look in question a little bit.
It's like third person, 3/4 overhead view.
Yeah, I just, again, I don't play that type of game, so I can't talk to that to even play with that. But to me, the flow, but also the graphics, to me, I think could have maybe been better.
A little vintage, maybe. Old school
That's
look.
what you want to call it.
More Sonic news. Last episode we talked about Sonic Frontiers. We got Sonic in the news once again.
Let me tell you, Sonic is everywhere right now, and I find that's probably why there's some controversy. This comes out on June 23rd, so it will come out on this Thursday. And you again have it is on all platforms, and this
including
is
PC.
Including PC. And here we go with Sonic Origins.
Old school Sonic OG. So 4 remastered titles. You get Sonic 1, Sonic CD, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Knuckles 3. Sonic Origins. Digital release on all major platforms.
And it's Sonic's birthday, so it is releasing on the 23rd, which is Sonic's birthday. What are your thoughts?
That one looks like a dub to me. I mean, Genesis was my first console. That was my first personal console. That was mine. I remember having Sonic 1, Sonic 2. I don't think I ever got around to having Sonic 3.
So I am seeing a pattern happening right now with Sonic. Okay, so Sonic 2, the movie came out, okay?
Yep.
And by the way, that did more views and more dollars than the first one. It is
Nice.
actually a huge game. I think it's the top rating video game movie year to date. Like, it did so good at box office that it rated that. So Sonic 2 comes out, right? And then they announce Sonic Frontier that we had saw, which has a lot of controversy because we saw that last week. We looked at that. The 3D, it's open. It is not what we just saw, okay?
Yes.
And so for people who do like the classics, it just is not. And now they are bringing this out on Sonic's birthday, also his anniversary of the game, but also there's a focus on the same two characters that they introduced in the Sonic 2 movie. Do you think it's, put together on purpose, or do you think, it is just luck?
Could be good marketing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, ideally, I probably would have released the game before the movie, but yeah, there's a lot of Sonic stuff.
Well, and like I said, a lot of the graphics to me in Sonic Frontiers that we saw last week look very familiar to the scenes in Sonic 2, the movie. I mean, they are very identical, almost like they have taken it. So, I don't know. I find it very interesting. But let me tell you, Sonic is definitely coming in full force. It is all over. They are hitting it strong in the market and keeping it alive for sure.
Yeah, looks cool. I like I like how they're doing animation. The animation looks cool. I like the actual animated cutscenes, and there's new animation. Looks like. So I like the animation that they added. I like how you get to play those old school classics. Was that a dub or a snap from you?
It was a dub,
Okay.
by far. I love Sonic. It's right up my alley as well. It's just a fun game. I mean,
Looks
how
like it's
can
gonna
you
be-
not like Sonic?
Right.
So, yeah. Okay, here's another one that is coming out on the 24th. So it is the Capcom Fighting Collection.
Yes, sir. All the fighting game fans. '35th anniversary.
Notice it is only on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
Yeah. So no PS5.
Or Xbox Series.
Oh yeah. It's not over.
Oh. You knew, huh?
Oh yeah, I've watched this more than once. Puzzle Super Gym Fighter, which I have on the PS4 or 3. Puzzle Fighters. Ranked? Oh my god. I know it's gonna be ranked.
Big deal. You can play online for all titles. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's huge. Which I wasn't sure if all of them were gonna be online or some of them.
No, it's all.
I wonder. The thing I don't know is if it's going to be cross-play, because that's going to be a big factor if I buy it on console or PC.
Well, and the other thing, so okay. Well, first, dub or snub?
That's all
I
I
mean,
make.
I was gonna say there's
Dub
no
for
way
me.
he's not. It's a dub for me too. It's a classic. I enjoy it,
Bunch of
especially the
classics.
puzzle
And
fighter.
it's a bunch of titles that never came to U.S. shores, so a lot of U.S. players are going to get to play some of these games for the first time ever, like Red Earth. Might have been some other ones too, but I know specifically Red Earth never came to U.S. When actually Red Earth, I've got some of my alerts have that character Leo, the lion barbarian with the sword. That's from Red Earth, fighting game Capcom made, but I don't think it ever came to U.S. shores. So it's gonna be cool to check out some of these games that I've never been able to play before.
So let me ask. I'm seeing a theme, like I said, in reporting and looking at this, but again, they are. So let's look at these two: Sonic and Street Fighter. Classics have been around. Capcom, there was a huge win. Street Fighter 5, right? Came out, was a huge drought per se of the game, right? It was Street Fighter 4, and then there was a long period. It was like 20 years or something, right?
Between 4 and 5.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Probably because Capcom loves making multiple versions of the same game
Right.
before they release the next one.
Yeah, so here we are, though. It took 20 years, right? And then here we are. It wasn't that long ago for 5, okay? We're probably, 3, 4, 5 years. But not in their normal 20. We have Street Fighter 6 that will be out next year. And now you have the 35th anniversary version of this game coming. Same concept with Sonic, though. Like I said, they are bringing the old school classics as availability for that, and also a very new version as well. So do you think this is on purpose to have the old and new to fill both bases of the people who are having a hard time with the new games? And also, do you think that this is combating the whole idea of streaming, online game streaming now that is going to be coming into play, digital?
I don't know. Like combating it how? Just because they're doing these collections now as one?
Not only collections, but it being a collections, not to overuse the word, but it can be a collector's item, right? As well, that you can play to have all of it. Because a lot of these, if you were to go back to the games, are not playable on today's consoles, right? Unless you have an old school console.
Yeah, you can.
So now they are bringing it where you can play it on today's consoles, and to me that is more, if you are a diehard and you played that when you were younger and whatnot, like I said, we're talking our generation, but also it is introducing to the younger generation, right?
Yeah.
Some of these classic games and breathing new life into those old classic games.
Yeah, they're trying to find a new player base, some new players to bring on that may not have been aware of these games, and it's a way now to experience those games that might not have been, like you said, you might not have even been born yet or whatnot. Yeah. And it's a way to kind of ramp up excitement for the future releases. So with Capcom Fighting Collection, it kind of might tide people over until Street Fighter 6 comes out. You know, Sonic Origins, until Sonic Frontiers comes out, if people are going to get this. Still
but notice too, this was only PlayStation 4. It was not for 5.
Yeah.
It was also for only Xbox Series. It was, or not Xbox One, not the Xbox Series. So I do find that interesting.
That's
like, these are
interesting.
old school games that are not on the newest,
going on the current gen consoles.
Exactly. But the new games are planning to be on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. So I do find that interesting with that decision too.
Yeah, I'm curious why they decided to do that. Because a lot of times, usually, if it's on PS4, why not put it on PS5? I mean,
Now,
Usually they're on both platforms.
Right.
Anyway.
I have also been seeing a trend. What happened even this week for releases, there's a lot of games that are coming out with those later editions, you know what I mean, where they will release under the lower platforms, I'm gonna say, and then 6 months to a year later
PS5 upgrade
they
later.
upgrade the versions to the others. Again, I don't know if that is for the lack of being able to get PS5s. I feel like Xbox Series is not having the same issue that PS5 does, so I don't know that it is availability of consoles for that. I just find it interesting that those newer consoles are actually not getting a lot of attention. And I don't know if that's intentional because they've learned that there could be more money and profit by doing the streaming gaming and trying to get rid of consoles altogether. So I don't know. There's a theory out there for sure. Okay, we've got one more.
Madison.
Yes. And again, this one is on all platforms. So, except for, strangely, not Xbox One. I don't know why, but...
I don't know. Yeah. It's too old.
Hours later, Madison continued to mutilate her body before disposing of it.
The attic.
I have lost my cursor.
That was Madison. Is that Madison 1 or is that 2? I don't know if that was supposed to be a split to where it makes
I think it's one.
Okay.
I think it's just, this
Madison.
is the first one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a horror game.
It is.
You have a lighter and a Polaroid. Cool. Shout out to Polaroid, I guess. You got sponsored.
I know, right? Which is obviously, obviously it's something with ghosts, because I think that's the point of Polaroid, that you
Ghosts
carry
or like creatures?
paranormals, and so there's obviously something with the Polaroid, for sure.
Interesting game.
It made me jump.
Gotta have the jump scares.
Yeah.
Dub or snub? Dub dub, I guess.
I feel in between on that one.
Well, I mean, it looks like it could be interesting. You know, I don't play a lot of the horror games. I mean, close I've gotten to lately is Phasmophobia, which was actually more creepy and scary than I thought it was going to be. But it looks like it could be a good game, especially for around, get closer to Halloween season.
I'm going to dub it. I am not a horror film. I'm not even a horror film. I'm not a horror game. But here's what I will say. I do feel like it is a different story. I mean, I don't know the plot, but it seems like different way of challenges and things in the game with the Polaroid. And it definitely seems as, it is you as the person in the game, which I think, and like I said, in the trailer, it made me jump. So I may be an easy scare. But I do think it is different than the traditional, like, oh, you went to camp and all of a sudden scary things happen and you try to stay alive.
We talked about the Corey last week.
Well, but that's my thing. That story has been told and retold, and I don't know. I just feel like this is maybe a different plot.
Well, I feel like there's been a game that's been similar to this too, right? Like, I forget what I don't know, but something picture. I don't know. I feel like there's another game that's somewhat similar to this that I've seen.
I do think there is more horror films coming out than I feel in Norm, but I could be wrong. I feel like this is becoming a more broad gaming genre for sure.
Yeah, it looked interesting. We'll see. When is that release? Was that today or
24th?
This week? Okay, 24th, so later this week.
24th or 25th. It was on the side, but
nice.
Yeah. Well, with that, again, we voted dubs. We want to make sure you did in chat as well. We're excited to see your guys' comments. If it's a yay or nay, you've got to put it into your library, or nah, I'll wait to see what the reviews are. And with that, we have a special guest.
Very special.
I'm excited about this. We have this is
good job on the graphic.
Do you like it? Yeah. I've kind of fine-tuned and polished a little bit on this. We do have a special guest and an interview, and we are excited for that. I feel like we just go to it unless you want to say something to it.
No, let's get right to it. I think it'll speak for itself. This is the top story.
Yep.
Kicking it with Kalamity, the crew. What's going on, gamer guys and gals? Thanks for coming to the podcast. And this is our first time having this segment with an actual name.
Yes.
This is, we're calling it the Crudential.
Well, credentials.
Credentials.
Well, that's probably the speed round section of it. But either way.
Oh, I thought it was the whole thing.
No, but we can call it the whole thing. That's just fine. Absolutely. It all works together.
We're learning about members of the crew.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just basically our final initiation and learning who they are, part of our stream team, and our interview segment that we love to do to get to know our stream team members, even more in depth than what we know from scoping out their channel and things like that with itself. So
getting a little insight for the new recruits. So
absolutely,
we definitely want to welcome the new members aboard, and this is how we do that.
Absolutely.
So, and our special guest today is none other than Smircar412. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, man.
Good to see you guys too.
Yeah. So welcome to the team, first and foremost, of course. Glad to have you on board. So we're just going to go through a couple quick questions so we can get to know you and the community as well. So tell us a little bit about you and what people can expect when they come to your channel.
Right now I'm trying to stream more Fortnite, Call of Duty, which makes me rage a lot. Honestly, I do a little bit of everything. I usually do sports games, I gotta bring my Xbox into here and hook it up, but just overall a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Trying to grow. Not for a living, but
yeah, a fun hobby.
For fun.
You know, build a
Right.
community, have fun with people, like-minded people.
right.
Absolutely. So if I were to come to your channel, though, what is the vibe we're going to get? What is kind of the thing that happens at your channel? What are you kind of,
What can we expect?
what can you expect? I mean, your community, who are they? You know, what kind of vibe is at your channel?
I'd like to think of it as a good vibe.
Okay.
We like to, all get together, hang out, play some video games, and just enjoy it without screaming and swearing. But that happens occasionally.
Every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I try to make it fun. Try to make it enjoying for everybody.
Yeah.
Good,
very
good.
cool.
I think that's definitely what it needs to be too. Like first and foremost, if you're not having fun, then what's the point? So
Right.
that's good that you can have fun with. I did see on your channel though, you have a little Dave rage though, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there is some
That's
rage.
mostly for Call of Duty. Mostly
Okay.
for Call of Duty.
Nice.
So, yeah, anytime viewers see it, exclamation point Dave Rage, the count just keeps going up.
Oh, nice. It's a counter meter. Nice.
Yeah.
How many times has Dave raged? I'm going to see what the counter is
I
at.
think it's up to 22.
Okay. Does it reset per stream or is that?
No, it just
Oh, it just keeps
counting.
going.
Right.
Okay. So how high can we get?
I have a similar one on my channel where it's how many times GC dies. So, and that counter, believe it or not, is pretty high. So,
Yeah.
That's my thing. Yep.
That's a newer counter, so that's why it's so low. But
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
if
I like
it was there from 2 years ago, it'd probably be over.
Be a lot higher.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So,
Okay. All right. So move on to the next question. What was the one thing about streaming that you didn't expect?
I didn't expect to become affiliated as quickly as I did.
Nice. Congrats.
It actually, one of my buddies who's also a streamer, he actually rated me the one night with like 80 people.
Nice.
So right there, it just like kicked it off the end, and the next day I got that email about it. But
It's a great way to get it.
Heck yeah.
oh yeah,
For sure. Congrats.
and ever since then, and just try to keep climbing up. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get the feel, that's like you really that's like the step. It's like, wow. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
so it's a big achievement, you know.
is.
So it definitely fuels, I think, streamers to put more into their craft.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say is your vision for your channel? I know it's not, like you said, your goal isn't necessarily full time. It's more on the hobby and enjoy and just hang out and be a hangout spot. But what is your vision for your channel? What would you like to achieve with it?
I'd like to be full time.
Okay.
That would be one of my top goals. I don't know if it'll ever get that far. It doesn't matter if it does or not. I still enjoy what I do and just making content. I'm still trying to get it to upload to like TikToks and YouTube and all that.
Yeah.
I have to get the editing down.
Yeah.
It's
It's a lot.
very time consuming. It's a lot.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not fun. At least not for
Yeah.
me. It may depend on the
No,
person. But for me,
Some of the ones I've made, it took me a good hour and a half to make, and it's a lot of time.
right. And you're hoping to get a good ROI off it. And
Right.
it's very time consuming.
I think editing is a very unexpected thing because, you know, the idea is you just push a button and turn it on, right? And
Right.
stream it. But
things happen, right?
Yeah.
a lot more editing that goes involved than we think. So for sure, absolutely. Now this is one of my favorites, okay? And I know you're actually newer to our community too, so this one may be a little bit different for you, but it's one of my favorite because Cal sometimes doesn't like to answer questions from crew because they can do off the wall questions or
Right.
they like to see him squirm. I mean, you do.
I answer questions all the time.
Yeah, but there's certain ones. But so anyways, this is your free pass is what I'm saying. This is your moment that you can ask Cal anything and he is obligated to answer.
Anything.
So, anything.
Yeah, anything. Huh?
Yeah.
Carte blanche, whatever you want.
That's a beautiful thing. Absolutely.
What how did you get started in streaming?
How did I get started in streaming? That's a good question. Well, I got started in the streaming. It was kind of a segue from content creation because before I was more of a YouTube. So I was creating content offline, editing and stuff and uploading as videos. And then I started streaming actually on YouTube Gaming when they had, their streaming platform. I was doing that for a while and, I was building a brand and everything. And I was liking YouTube, but I wasn't liking the options that they had for the streamer and the viewer. Like for me personally, I feel like Twitch has a lot more tools and stuff to connect the streamer with the viewer. You have your emotes and the subs and all that stuff. And I don't think any of that was even a thought back in YouTube. I think they're getting better now with their live streaming platform.
They had more restrictions too.
Yeah.
Like to stream, like we got more error messages and more I remember that when you flipped to Twitch, it was like, oh, we can do this now. Like there was just more freedom to that creation, I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
That you felt.
So yeah, and Twitch seemed like it was the better platform for live streaming. And that was what really drew me to Twitch because I as far as uploading, that's great. You get to see those comments and interact with people through the comment section. But as far as streaming, you get that one-on-one real-time interaction with the viewer, which really I liked a lot about Twitch and being a streamer. But I've been creating content for a long time before that. I've always been a gamer. I think a lot of us obviously have. I've always been a fan of entertainment and that industry. So it's been a way for me to combine both of my passions because I work in radio and I've worked in television and all that stuff. So it's been a great combination of gaming, acting, just a lot of my entertainment stuff that I've always been a fan of growing up and been able to combine them all into one platform.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah. It's a great
That's kind of my story.
Perfect answer.
Show.
There you go. You
Small
got it.
yeah.
He said perfect. So that's all. It's his question. So absolutely. Okay, now this is where I was calling it the official credential.
Oh,
so this is
Okay.
the speed round that we do. They're just basically, when I say speed round, just one-worded answers. First thing comes to your mind. It's not like we're putting a clock on. We're not putting you to a cooker pressure or anything.
Right.
But just more of one-worded, off the wall, some gaming, some not kind of questions that we ask all of our crew members.
Yes.
So these are questions that are non-negotiables we ask. So
Okay.
Cal, you go
All right,
first.
let's kick it off. So if you could be a video game hero, who would it be?
Oh, Iron Man.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. If you could be a video game villain, who would you be?
Oh, that's a hard one. The Joker.
Okay. I like that.
That's a good one.
That's a good answer.
So we got Marvel and DC covered.
Yeah,
we got
I
the
love
Marvel
that.
hero and the DC villain. I like it. All right, favorite curse word.
And you can say it.
No, fuck.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. First video game you ever played?
Wow, this goes way back. I
know.
want to say Gran Turismo on
Okay.
PS1.
Classic. I had that game.
Good.
All right, favorite Twitch emote. And it can be your own. It's nothing wrong with that. If it's on Twitch and it's your favorite.
Well, it has to be one word, but
No, you're good.
it's mine. The little shark that does the dance.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I saw you spamming that earlier.
Yeah, I like it.
In chat. Okay.
Your
Nice.
go-to stream snack.
Fruit, probably.
Okay. Any kind of fruit that you're just in?
Grapes, strawberries.
Okay.
Just because it's not crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy handheld. Boom.
Yeah.
Food you would not eat, even if someone paid you.
Probably octopus.
Oh.
Okay.
Interesting. So not.
Or is that calamari?
That's calamari.
Well,
Same thing.
calamari's
octopus.
Sorry.
squid,
Oh, is
but
it?
it's the same family. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Calamari is squid.
Oh, there you go. Shows you I don't eat anything that lives in water, so
I think I've had both. Pretty good. They're
it doesn't
chewy.
matter. It's all the same to me.
Chewy.
Yeah, no, thank you. Okay. And with that being said, what are 3 words you hope people use to describe you? 3 words.
Fun, kind, and exciting.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I like that.
All right. Good. All right. What hidden talent or party trick can you do?
Oof. I'm good at chugging beer. That's
I love it. I can't chug beer, so
Yeah.
I say that's a talent. I will take that.
Now, do you do that on stream? Like, is that for like
No,
type of
no.
sub goal? Okay. I'm
No.
gonna say that should be like a celebration type thing. You get like a sub or.
well, I did the other night.
Raise.
I asked a couple of my friends. I said, every time you guys gift a sub, I'll take a shot.
Okay.
And my one buddy goes, well, I'll give 50. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to make it through the night with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be a really bad stream.
So, true story, real quick. We'll come back to that, but remind me. I've got a good story for that. Okay. Anyways, if there was a movie about your life, who would play you?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I know that I didn't say this would be easy.
If my life was a movie.
Or who would you want to play you? Way to say it.
Honestly, I'd like to have Heath Ledger do it.
Okay. Okay.
The late great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it. Okay.
All right. Have you ever had a crush on a video game character, and if so, who?
Would have to be Mara from Call of Duty.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
And
I like
girl with the tattoos and
It was actually based on a real person. She actually streamed
Yeah.
on Twitch. Did you know that? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Hey.
I'm a
Yeah, I
fan.
knew that.
Oh, I'm a fan.
I found
Yep.
he knows. Okay, and then the last question of the credentials is, what life lesson have you learned from a video game? Or video games in general? What life lesson?
Always try and have fun.
Okay.
Don't take everything so serious.
Yeah, I think that's a good lesson. I think, especially when you get into grinding or you're, or even just having a bad day, right? I think that's a
Right.
beautiful thing too of streaming. You kind of have to force happy no matter what your day's like,
Oh yeah. Yep.
You have good days and it kind of puts you in a positive mindset if you choose to. So I think that's a great lesson.
Unless you're playing Call of Duty, but yeah.
Then the goal is to get the counter up, right?
The Dave Rage.
Yeah. So, real quick, my story is Cal, in the beginning of this, we had a night where we did what you were saying. For every shot he would take if he got us up. And there were some people in his chat who decided to get Cal drunk. And what ended up happening, there was a result of this, and you can see it. You can look it up. You can type it in our chat. It's, exclamation calamity, like kill-lamity.
Mix.
Or is it exclamation mix?
I think
Did you
so.
simplify it?
I think it's been mixed.
Oh, okay. Exclamation mix. But either way, there is a video to see the results of what happened, and it is one of the best videos of Cal you will ever see.
I'll have to do that later.
You will.
Yeah.
100%. Not only was he lit, but one of our crew members at the time, who was from overseas, was very good at editing and with beats, and asked, Cal questions and then put it to music and turned it into Cal spitting some bars. And it is.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, there's close-up camera views. I mean, Cal just played right into his hands, and there is not a better masterpiece out there than that.
Yeah,
In fact,
Definitely
that
do
was,
that. I have to see that.
you do. And in fact, that is the first time Cal got recognized out in public because of that video.
I don't know if it was the first.
Yeah,
Was
he was
this
pretty
before
excited.
TwitchCon?
That was yeah, it was
Oh, yeah,
before
it was YouTube.
TwitchCon, and it was
Yeah,
YouTube.
somebody at my
and,
college actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
at the
called me
time.
and he was like, hey, somebody actually recognized me from the video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You got to check it out. It is
I will.
100%. So, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all of our questions, right?
Well, but first, yeah, absolutely. It's all our questions. So please tell us where we find you.
Yes.
We
Before
want to
we get
make
out of here,
sure you get your official plug. And please, if there's anything else you want to ask us or say, this is your time. Absolutely.
Yeah. The floor is yours.
What do you mean where you can find me?
Like, give people your socials.
I love it.
Okay.
Because we never know who's going to be watching or listening to this. So where can people find you?
Where's your channel? All that good stuff.
Smirker412. It sucks to spell, I know, but I'm also on Facebook, TikTok, just first and last name. It's easy to find.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't see that name that often.
All right. And make sure let's for the people, because this may be an actual video or audio instead of video. So can you spell that? So it'd be easier. We want to make it easy as possible for people to find you.
Yeah, because
spell
you're,
that.
yeah, spell your name.
So SMREKAR.
Yes.
412.
412. Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
just want to make sure everybody can find you and make it easy as possible.
And it's Smirker.
Smart.
Correct. Yep.
I know. We just want to get it right because we wanted
That's
people
okay.
to find you to be able to give you that exposure. Absolutely. We are looking forward to having you on our team. We are looking for big things for your channel. We are here to help along with all the other crew members, and hopefully you would start seeing them in your chat as well, to help build those communities grow as well.
Yep.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you.
Excited to see what we can do.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And just like we do with all of our crew members, we will set up a time for you and Cal to collab and do that as well. And so keep an eye out for when that will happen.
Yeah. Whenever our schedules can align, we make it happen.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So again, David Smirker 412. Make sure you guys check him out. Newest member of the crew stream team. Smirker, thank you so much for your time today on Kicking It with Kalamity. Appreciate you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate everything.
Questions. So now we're
Oh, now we're back. We're on location. Location difficulties. We can call it that, right?
yeah.
So, newest crew member, we are so happy to be able to show you that interview with our special guests. And so we appreciate that. Awesome, right?
Yeah, it was an awesome interview. Hopefully, you guys got a little insight into Smirker, get an idea for what his channel is or in what he's about. Hopefully, the moderators will be able to hit us up with that shout out command for Smirker. But yeah, newest member of the crew stream team. Make sure you go check him out. Good peeps, Ben. And yeah, I'm excited to do a collab sometime in the near future. We can.
Yes, keep a lookout for that. We will let you guys know when that collab is. Of course, it will be when we are back in the studio. But absolutely, that was I have thumbs up on that
Yeah,
interview.
good-
He did a great job.
Good job on the first guest with the now we actually have a name.
I know, and for that series and
All those
with the
elements there,
credentials,
intro and all that.
Yeah,
Good job.
yeah, thanks. Absolutely. I wanted to start polishing some of our stuff.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's looking good.
absolutely. And with that, we are to the end. We have to get back back to a wedding that is supposed to happen tomorrow,
Yes.
which means more beach time for us. And we just wanted to make sure that we made time for you guys because our love is with you, even though we are not in studio. We are on location this week. We hope you enjoyed this first for Kicking It with Calamity limited edition. Who knows? Maybe the limited editions will become series, different, remote places that we go. Who knows? We will have to see. But yeah, what do you think?
I think it was good. It was a good episode. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Whether you were here live on Twitch every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, or if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, we do appreciate the support. Make sure you're subscribing to whatever podcast service you listen to. Subscribe to the podcast, and then we're going to keep cranking them out as long as you guys are enjoying them and coming back.
Absolutely. Speaking of, we love to know your feedback. So you can catch us on Discord. You can check us on Twitter. You can DM us, email us, whatever. We do want to hear that feedback. If there are segments you want to know, or you have more questions about things that we have talked about, we are here as a resource for you. But you know what? I think it's more time for us to go sit on the beach, get those rays, and go celebrate with Big as he gets married, says I do. And with that being said, crew, we are going to see you back in the studio next week. Thank you for showing us love while we are out on location.
Yeah.
And I think this was fun.
Yeah, it was a good episode, man. Appreciate everybody coming through and hanging out again. And yeah, we'll be back live once we get back from vacation. So
Yeah, next Tuesday.
make sure notifications are turned on so each and every time that we go live. And you know how we do it all day, every day. Game on, game hard, stay blessed. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Absolutely.
Much love, crew. Peace.
You were born in Pittsburgh, a Steelers fan to your core, you always were. Yeah, you always were. In Street Fighter, your main was Ken. You were made a Twitch partner, all you do is win.